Okay, Joe, 2024, give me the Joe O'Kelly take. I'm not saying that this is right or wrong because we've all got a take, but give me the Joe O'Kelly take on the market in 2024.
Well, you got to look at 2023, which was, big far let down from 2021. And so it gradually went down and it sort of bottomed in 23 and it kept about the same in 24.
Mm-hmm.
So you bottom out.
Yep.
And that trend, if you think about how to follow it, look at how many sales there are nationally.
Yep.
So at the bottom, it's 4 million. At the top, it's 6 million, like crazy. So 5 is great.
Yep.
So it reflected that way in the Southeast.
Mm-hmm.
And so it actually ran below trend some of the months, below 4 million nationally.
Yep, I saw that that trailing 12 months got down to like 3.8 million, which was really low. Okay, let's clarify something real quick. You say the market fell behind, 2021, then 23, and then 24, continuing to step behind. But what you mean by that is you mean it fell in terms of total closings, properties changing hands.
Right.
Now, what do you believe? Yeah, right. Transaction count, which, by the way, is certainly an indication of how robust and energetic people are about the market, and it means that people are they're scared, they're stuck, and don't necessarily want to move forward. But what happened price wise? So it's still the most interesting dynamic because units are slowing, which would normally mean prices would slow, but I have not seen that happening, especially not in Metro Atlanta. What about you?
The prices, and I think your side of the world looks at, that gross turnover price more than I do. I look at it on the units, and the pricing affects title insurance on my world some, but not significantly.
Right.
So it's unit transactions that we look for. I think prices flattened a little bit, but they're still going up, right?
So I think you nailed it. I think they are still increasing, but the rate of increase significantly decreased. And so I'm guessing, now we were ahead, I believe, Joe, in November and December. I don't have December's numbers all yet, but I think we were ahead unit-wise in November and December in Metro Atlanta, which we weren't most of the year. And I would say that prices will probably increase 3%, condos and townhomes. We're starting to see some softness in that market, more inventory growing. It's got probably 50% more inventory based on the number of buyers who are buying in there than the single-family detached. And I would say the single-family detached, probably 5% appreciation, maybe 6%. When you think about it, in a crappy real estate year, that's actually a really interesting thing, especially for home sellers.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go away. What's going to help slow it, and that is slower than it has been, the inventory increases, and then if the rates can get close to 6, but they'll probably be 6.5, let's say. So your affordability is better than it was when it was almost 8% mortgage rates.
Right.
Then the more inventory, it's not that it's just more inventory drives it, it's that people have been looking, ready to take the rate because it's not going to really change too much. But they didn't have a bunch of places to buy.
Right.
And so now with the inventory that comes on board, you're going to start seeing transactions increase. I don't know that we'll be at 5 million this year, but we could be a lot better than the 4 million pace.
Well, and when you think about it, even if we just went to 4.5 million, that's 10% more transactions than we did last year. Really, a little bit more than that's a big difference. So you said you think interest rates might be around 6 over the last couple of months. They've gone in the wrong route.
They might get to 6. My guess is 6.5. But
6.5. Okay, so I believe the same thing. I don't think we're going to see rates get much lower than 6.5. 2025. Give me the Joe O'Kelly take on what's going to happen in 2025. We already know interest rates 6.5. I'm thinking I'm getting the feel that you're saying, hey, we should have more units flowing through the system. You don't know how much. You and I talked a minute ago about 10%. What other projections do you have for 2025, things that sellers and buyers should be aware of?
I think the projections, and we've talked about pretty much all of them, you're not going to see giant increases in home prices. So, and you're going to have, actually you might have a little softness in some areas because of the inventory, but not really decreasing in the increase.
Right.
Projections for us, we're going to open another couple of offices. We're about to in a few months open a Buckhead office, and
Buckhead.
I'll have a Monroe office. I just don't have enough offices, so I gotta do that.
Yeah. If the 30's not enough, you probably have 3 times as many as anybody else has in Atlanta.
I think the projection is, for me, that's interesting, is the 10-year will settle once the administration comes in and the decision is, hey, it's going to be okay.
Yep.
It's not going to be crazy. And then when it settles and the 10-year slides down, that's when the rate moves, and then everything starts coming. It's like a dam breaking, but not completely like a flood.
Let's just say you and I are wrong on interest rates. And let's say interest rates go to 5.75. I'm just making something up. Don't anybody listen to me think I say that's what I'm saying that's what's going to happen. But if the yield on the 10-year Treasury bond falls enough, then that could very well happen. You have 2 problems. The yield on the 10-year Treasury bond is high, which pushes mortgage rates up. And right now, investors in the mortgage space are worried that interest rates are going to go down, so they have to charge a little bit of a premium. So there's more of a spread between those two.
That's right. That's right.